He's got Lockett deep. Lockett makes it, gets 10, 5, touchdown, Seahawks!
Tyler, the Seahawks drafted 8 players back in 2015. You're the last one remaining.
Yeah.
Thoughts on that?
Nah, I mean, it's kind of sad. Obviously, I've had a great relationship with each and every person that I was drafted with. A lot of them are still in the league, so I'm happy about that. They're doing their thing. Last one was me and Frank. Obviously, Frank ended up going to a different team, but I'm really happy for him. Went to a team my dad used to play for, so he's in good hands, and I'm just excited to see what he does. But I'm excited to still be here, last man standing, and I'm seen as one of the top vets, so I'm able to really try to get the leadership going.
Lockett looks, has time. Now he's going to throw. Tyler Lockett looks for the ball. He's got it! Touchdown! Seahawks!
You had 10 touchdowns last year, a career year overall in terms of touchdown receptions. Do you owe that success to anything in particular?
I mean, I always give it to God. I mean, obviously, I was dealing with a whole bunch of stuff mentally last year, and it was, it was kind of bad, stuff like that. I had family, friends, my faith in God being able to help me get through it, and the Seahawks did a great job helping me get through a lot of the stuff as well. So, I mean, mentally, I wasn't in the best place the whole season, but that was the best career that I've ever had. And so I just learned that you can never be ready for what's going to happen in front of you. All you can do is just take it day by day and just being able to embrace it and make the best out of it. So I learned, like, no matter how many times I used to come in here, catch tennis balls, run routes and all that stuff to prepare myself, I always was thinking that was the way to be able to do it. But last year I didn't do anything. Like, everybody asked, like, what changed, what did it? I didn't do anything. And it was like, that was the best year of my life. So I learned that you can never prepare for what God has for you. You can only just keep going and just grow at it day by day.
Do you mind me asking why you weren't in a great mental state last year?
I'll talk about it at some point.
Okay. Do you feel better now?
Yeah, I'm good.
Will the pre-planned touchdown celebrations continue this season?
And that's my goal. I mean, that's the goal all the time, is just trying to find new touchdown celebrations. We won the championship. Well, we won the dance-off with that, so now we got to come up with some better stuff. A lot of people have been doing great things out there in the world, having good little gifs and good little, like, dance moves and stuff, and so we're going to start talking about it when camp comes around, just to be able to get it going again.
Which was your favorite one last year?
Last year, I don't know, it was a lot of them. I like the one that we did in Detroit when we did the baseball celebration, but I like a lot of the dances that we did too. But I think my favorite one would have to be the AI celebration.
What's the worst idea for a touchdown celebration that you've come up with that's been vetoed by the other guys?
That I couldn't tell you, because before you can come up with one great one, you come up with 20 bad ones. And so it's like we sit there, we talk about it doesn't work out, everybody bashes it, no. Then we have something that we think is cool, everybody else doesn't like it when we do it at practice. So it's kind of like one of those things where you fail constantly before everybody says, I like that one, let's do it.
Tyler Lockett looks for the ball. He's got it! Touchdown! Seahawks!
Describe the meeting room and the receivers room specifically without Doug Baldwin here.
I mean, it's a lot different. Obviously, Doug was a great leader. He helped us in every single way. Aspects on the field, off the field, and allowed us to become better men, as well as Nate Carroll, which is our receiver coach. I think now we're trying to kind of learn, like, what kind of room that we want to be. We're trying to understand everybody's personalities and try to see, like, who fits in where, and trying to do that. It's not really hard. It's a lot of great guys in there, a lot of rookies right now from just coming in, just trying to be able to make the team. But right now, everything that I'm seeing, I'm loving it.
So more importantly, you should look at the grind to get to that outcome.
What did Doug teach you about being a leader?
I think one of the biggest things Doug taught me is just to be able to keep going regardless of how well you do, how bad you do. At the end of the day, there's going to be some practices where you might not get to practice as much. And you got to be able to learn how to still tune in and still be able to be there to help somebody. And the biggest thing is just, like, it's not about you. It's always about being able to get everybody else ready. When you're a leader, they believe and they already know that you're going to prepare yourself to be ready, but you got to be able to get everybody else ready. And so if you focus on yourself, it's going to be harder to be able to come together as a team and be great. So that's one of the things that he taught me, is just making sure that you stay on everybody else, because that's what you have to do to help your team be successful.
How are you going to adapt to being the top receiver or the #1 receiver on this offense?
Whether I say that I'm the #1 receiver or #2, I don't think it really matters. I was like the #3 receiver 2 years ago, and I got more targets than I did being a #2 receiver last year. So I think at the end of the day, it's just me going out there and just being able to play, regardless of how many targets I get, whether it's 15, whether it's 2. At the end of the day, I'm going to make the best out of what's given.
You're going to be in the slot more this year, is that correct?
I have no clue. I mean, you know, I played in the slot a lot in the season, but I'm always on the outside as well, so I think it's just going to depend on whichever way the coaches want me to line up, whichever matchup they see best, they might want to put me in that position.
Give me your first impression of DK Metcalf.
Fast. Not faster than me. Nah, I mean, we'll have to race, but I mean, he's real fast, physical, great player. I'm excited to be able to see what he's going to do in the league. Excited to be able to see when he puts on the pass, very physical, and he likes the contact and stuff like that. And I'm excited when we put on the real jerseys and stuff, I'm excited to see what he does.
Whose idea was it to make the video with DJ Fluker?
Oh, BC, Coach Carroll's son, Brendan Carroll.
It was Brennan's idea.
Yep, he'll probably deny it, but it was his idea.
Is DJ going to get a Best Supporting Actor award?
I don't know. They need to put us on the ESPYs and have the best videos, like best mimic videos.
That's become legendary.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun. I mean, sometimes they talk about it on ESPN and stuff and say, why should they do that? They shouldn't do that. But at the end of the day, I mean, we're still young. We're trying to have fun. Like, everybody knows it's fun in games. It's not as serious as people try to make it. And, you know, for the city of Seattle, it's fun.
Another year of football, but it's another day, it's another game. Nothing better than this game, man.
Last year, this team exceeded expectations based off of the expert consensus. You guys believed in yourselves in here, obviously.
Yeah.
What is this year about, though?
I think this year is just about growth. That's the biggest thing. Regardless of what everybody had and their expectations, we don't really worry about expectations because we already believe that we could be able to win the Super Bowl. It's just being able to go out there and do it. The best team that can master their craft is the team that's going to be able to go the farthest. There's going to be some games where you're not going to play your best, some games where everybody's going to be on a roll and we're going to just be doing the thing. We're going to be scoring touchdowns and everything, but it's all about being able to kind of like figure out how the game is going, and once you figure out the flow of the game, responding in that type of proper way. And I think for us, we did a great job with that. I think defense is way better this year. I think offensively, we understand our offensive coordinator and what he's trying to accomplish and get us to do. So this year is just going to be a year of growth.
You in Brian Schottenheimer's ear on a regular basis?
Hey, I be texting him. Well, not texting him, but I talk to him every time I have a play, whether we got a break or not. I come back and tell him, hey, let's do this. And I told him last week and it was a bad play. So I was like, cut that out. Don't put that into the book. I'll come and give you some more stuff.
Have you thought about what you'd be doing if you weren't playing football?
Real estate.
Real estate?
Yep.
It's a hot market right now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm taking a test. So, I mean, I'm studying right now and stuff like that while we're in the off season. But just being able to work on little things like that before we actually are buckled down into like football and stuff like that. But I really love it. Watch HGTV every day, even when I'm not doing anything, fall asleep watching it. So really looking forward to getting into it.
Is that something new that you started watching HGTV, or you've been watching it for a while?
I've probably been watching it for about 2 years. Yeah, I used to hate watching it because my dad and them used to watch it, but now it's like I watch it nonstop. And I just like walking into houses, going to look at houses, and just seeing different things, like developing different things. Like, I like doing that a lot.
You've played with a lot of incredible players here in Seattle. You can only choose one. Who should be the first to go into the Ring of Honor?
If I had to pick, I had to say Earl.
Why?
Basically, his game spoke for itself. I mean, he didn't say anything, but you knew when he would say stuff, you had to listen. There was times when I was in the game, he was like, come on, Lock, and I knew I couldn't let him down. Like, it wasn't about letting anybody else down or letting myself down. It was like, when he said something, you knew you had to pick it up and you knew you had to bring it this next play, regardless of where the ball was going, just because when you seen the way that he played, if he ever got on to you or talked to you, you wanted to be able to match that same type of energy and that same type of play. No matter what injuries he had, he came back stronger than ever. When people said that he wasn't going to be the same, came back and was even better. And I mean, obviously he had a great 4 years before I even got here, or 5 years before I got here, and was consistent. And you don't really see a lot of consistent players. Well, I have, since I've been here with the Seahawks, seen a lot of them, but you don't really see consistent players at the top of their game and at the top of their position, like at least 5, 6, 7, 8 years in a row.
Lastly, as we go into the season, what's your message for the 12s?
Just keep on supporting. At the end of the day, they're called 12s for a reason, And that's what it's all about, is we want them to feel as if they have a huge part of the game just as we do. A lot of games, like, we wouldn't be anything without them cheering us on, being able to be the loudest in the stadium or out there in the stands. And I think for us, we feed off of their energy. So even when a game isn't going the way it's supposed to go, the fact that they're still in it, it makes it even bigger. I want them to be able to bring it every single play, no matter what happens.